Welcome everyone to Friday Fandemonium. I don't know why my camera's a little blurry today. Maybe I can get the focus. Uh, Jacob may be here today. He said he would, but we're waiting on him. We'll do the audio check. Should be up happen anytime soon. See how it goes. Of course, you're hearing my phone ring off on me. Let's see what that word is. Verizon annoying me about some spam advertisement. Any day now. Any day now. Would you believe how long it took for May to um May is almost over already, and it's like uh oh god, the stupid new you the you I hate the new YouTube layout. I hate it. Right? It's just like you can't see stats anymore. Like they move everything around. Um, like you used to have. Let's see if I could. What is this shit? Participants. Okay. Uh, pop out chat. Yeah, they have just ruined. They made YouTube more difficult to use. As so now, normally you could see how people are watching, what's going on with one little view, right? So right now, according to the Streamyard, one person me is watching, which is fine, you know. Um, but it's just so annoying when YouTube changes something that works just because that they think you should like it better or whatever. Then that's the arrogance of these companies, whether it's Microsoft or Apple or you or Google or whatever. They want to force you to comply with their way of doing things. Now, I've divorced myself. I've never been involved in Apple. I mean, the products are quality, but the fact that you can't fix your own stuff and whatever, and have to be in their environment and all, no. And I've used that stuff over the years, but I've avoided. Um, and I divorced myself from Microsoft completely, other than minimal. Like I have a gaming computer that runs Windows, and I right now have that Hyper V server over there that basically going to get changed to Proximox probably after if assuming I move like I plan at the end of the year. Now I'll do it then, and so it's easier to do when you take everything down big time. But otherwise, I run Linux on most anything else, and and even the stuff I do run Windows on, of some version of Windows on, I try to minimize my connection with the Microsoft account and any of the services or whatever. I used to use a bunch of them, for a long time. I mean, OneDrive with OneNote was a great tool to take your notes and just go everywhere. But then you read then you start to see the privacy stuff, which not the normal privacy stuff, like the excessive stuff that started with when this new guy took over Microsoft. I mean, Bill Gates was bad enough with it. Paul Allen was bad, not Paul. Steve Ballmer was bad enough, but they were okay. But then this last guy, this Satya Nadella, is that his name? Since he took over Microsoft, they've been going way into the sort of Google level of control of people's lives. And that, in any case, now I wish I could divorce myself from Google, but I have the YouTube account. And like if I wasn't on YouTube, you wouldn't see me now. I probably would divorce myself from YouTube and find a way just to use a real cheap mail and then not use any other services of Google or whatever. Wouldn't use. I'd reformat my Android phone and all that. But okay, I'm ranting for 4 minutes about my tech stuff, right? Okay, so let's get into the stuff. Jacob should be here. He said he will be, but whatever. He's running late or not. I got 2.5 unboxings. I was I couldn't wait with one of them because I wanted to start reading it. So I bought the latest version of the Lord of the Rings role playing game. This is the One Ring from Free League Publishing. Uh, this is a very well constructed book. It has, I don't know how to describe the material, but it's not the smooth binding that you get on standard role playing books. It's the actual binding. It feels more like an actual book binding. Normally, it doesn't have a jacket, obviously, but I'm fine with that. I gotta find. There's a version of the book covers that you can put on these type of books, the plastic, that does not have the white, so you can see the art and all that. I gotta find. I have a bunch of books of this type, and plus my role playing books, hardcovers at least, that I want to cover. So book quality is amazing, right? I think this was. What did I pay for it? Let's take a look. See, I don't remember offhand. Orders. Orders. I paid. Well, if the price was 45%. It's currently $45 with 10% off. I think I paid 41 or 42. I think there was a little bit of a bigger discount. Okay. Um. So quality construction, yeah, you get quite a bit of content, right? You get quite a bit of content from the book. It's thick. It's not like sometimes you pay money for these role playing books, and they're like half the depth, and you wonder like what's going on now. Internal construction. If I can get close up, there's nice little artwork all over the place. You know, the font is very easy to read. The pagination is good. The layout is good. Um, so structurally, it's worth it. Content wise, is this game worth it? Uh, Obviously, I don't know. I mean, I don't have an opportunity to play it. I want to get back into tabletop / pen and paper RPGs for a long time. Health notwithstanding, hopefully I will by this year, early next year. Um, I enjoy reading role playing game content in general, though, even if don't actively play a lot anymore. Um, my one pet peeve so far, I'm a couple chapters in, trying to absorb the game, is they use specialty dice, like their own special dice. With I think the 12-sided dice have like a Sauron's eye and Gandalf's rune on it, and Gandalf's rune is like the critical success, and Sauron's eye is a critical failure, and then they have a 6-sided die with Elven rune on it. That's a success die. So it seems like it's. I don't know the full mechanics yet, but it reminds me of the standard D6 pool games that Fossa used to have, or Shadowrun and all that. So it kind of reminds me of that with a little twist on it. Um, I don't know about. I'm not. I don't know how much of a fan I am of dice pool games. I guess it's a way to make something less random, but while keeping the randomicity of it. Like you still roll for stuff, but you can put enough dice on something so that you are more likely to succeed at it than fail because of just accumulation or whatever. Um, so I guess I see the utility of it. I'm just not a fan of, you know, I don't know. Then again, I guess it's up to the dungeon master. As a DM or GM, I always it's called a lore master for this game. I always have a rule where if a player is doing something that they're skilled at, like let's say they have the fire making skill, right? And the circumstances are such that they should succeed, that a person who can make a fire will succeed like 9 out of 100 times. I'm going to say just roll a percentile dice. And if they roll one, then they'll say, well, you dropped the flint and maybe skin your finger a little, but you can try again. Like the difficulty is so low and it's such a routine activity. I'm not going to make you roll and say, well, you failed to roll to start the fire, and you forget how to do it for one whole day until you can try again. Like that. That's actually how the rule would read in D&D, like fires. So like that's been my style DM to make like only like the purpose of your skill rolls and your ability checks and all are when you're in crisis or contention. And if you're just trying to let's say you're doing the farm work and you're just trying to lift the rock and toss it off the side, you should have to make a strength check for that as long as you're decently strong. That's been my type of logic with that. So as far as the physical instruction of this book and the value, it's worth it. And this is the second edition of the game, by the way. Now, I played a long time. For a long time, I played Merc, which was the Iron Crown Enterprises version of when they had the Tolkien license, and I enjoyed that game a lot. I wonder, does Iron Crown Enterprises still exist? Let's find out. Iron Crown Enterprises. Okay, yeah, they're still there, huh? So Iron Crown Enterprises has a game called Rollmaster. I will bump them over here, and we'll do a little screen share. Present. Zero watching right now. Oh, share screen. Whatever it is. Yeah. Okay. So their main game is called Rollmaster. Okay, and Rollmaster is a very, it's a very like detail oriented game. Like if you like if you want like a light, quick game, Rollmaster is not your game. You know. Um, uh, Ice Games Rollmaster. Okay, let's go to the catalog and see what their products currently cost. Rollmaster. Anytime now. I guess these have got to be PDFs. $5 for it's got to be a PDF. Uh, yeah. Okay, you know how we're gonna figure out? We're gonna go to shop now. Let's see what their shopping situation is. Okay, so the core law, $25. So their rule books. I'm gonna pick one of these books up, not from them because they're in the UK and then the shipping will be the cost. So I check out on Amazon, and then Roll Master. Let's see if Amazon has it. Rollmaster Standard Rules, Rollmaster Core Law. I think they're paperbacks. Core Law. Yeah, I gotta figure out where I would get the actual physical books because I don't do PDFs anymore. Well, I have bunches of PDF, but you know, if ordering this overseas, it's shipping will just murder you. So I gotta find some place I can get like American shipping or whatever. You know. Okay, but this is because they go straight to drive through RPG. That's why. Okay, if it's drive through RPG, let's see here. Oh, look at that! Oh, you can get. Does it show it? You guys see it? Yeah. Okay, you can order the actual like covered book. So Rollmaster Unified Core Law. Now I'm gonna make sure that how do I put it? That they're not gonna revise this in 2 weeks or whatever before I buy it. So it might be a month before you see this. But in any case, you know. So let's go back and back. Now they used to have MERP, Middle Earth role playing. We'll do the Tolkien Gateway version of it. The best site, by the way, for Tolkien lore online, like if you don't own any of the materials or know it or whatever, is Middle Earth is Tolkien Gateway. Okay, and this is Middle Earth role playing, right? And from Ironclad Enterprise, it was based on the Rollmaster system. I mean, it's tons of supplement. It ran for a long time. All these supplements for the game. Then second edition, I wonder. If. So they're still producing supplements for this game. So I'd have to find out what the rule is on this. Are they second edition? Yeah. Okay. I have to hunt this down because I know that unless they maintain their license, unless Iron Crown has the right to continue publishing their original product, whatever, or whatever. I don't go crazy over it. So let's do the unbout. Oh, Jake. Okay, there's Jacob. He's in the chat. He'll be here in a couple minutes. So I did one unboxing. Let's wait for Jacob, and then we'll do the next one. I'll get the next thing set up. Now my setup has changed. That cart that you might kind of see to my right, that's left here, it actually broke. The wheels, like the cheapo wheels, broke off of it. It's a solid metal cart. I put on some slider things on it so it didn't damage the floor. But it's now a stationary tablet. So I don't have convenient access to the stuff over there, which I should have grabbed the scissors in the night beforehand. But I have a way to open this stuff without that. Okay, but I am industrious. See, this is a piece for the computer where you take out the tabs for a graphic card or whatever in the back. These things are sharp enough that they should pierce the tape. Of course, there's the internal tape. And that can go there. This particular is 4 issues of four. See how dexterous I am now? So let's talk about 4 So this is not my this is my pre-order of so when I pre-order books, I get like a monthly section of pre-orders from things from Other World Comics, and then I get I also do another order where I'll order like manually a bunch of stuff, you know. So here's Transformers. Oh, let me make myself big again. It's Transformers number 8. Look at this beautiful cover work. Okay, that's RC. Here's our team. So Daniel Johnson is our writer. Jorge Corona is our artist. Mike Spencer is our colorist. Russ Wooten is our letterer. The covers. They just list who wrote all the different covers, but they don't say which one it is. The standard high quality work that's been in this Transformers comic since the beginning. Look at that beautiful detail work, you know. Book. This is from Image. It's a $4 book. This is my one pet peeve with this. Image is $4 for $4. They should give you a better spine. Like either this should be the cover material on the back cover should be a firmer material to protect this spine more. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. It's the bottom line because Matt Cole said so. Okay. And I'm going to take advantage of these little stickies and just reuse them. Now, I am missing. Okay, so I'm missing one issue. This is issue 5 of Masterpiece by Brian Michael Bendis. I really like the first issue of this comic. Okay, great artwork, very noirish. It's a very noirish style of art, which is I feel like the story's going to be really noirish. Colors look pretty good. Okay, it's Dark Horse, $4 Dark Horse, about the same sort of mech quality that the $4 Image was, as I talked about all the time. And I'll tell you why I can't read issues 2 through 5 yet in a minute. I really, really hate YouTube's new layout. Hate with a passion. Oh, there's Jacob. Let me let him in here. Hey, Jacob, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, good, man. Sorry about that. I was eating some lunch.
That's okay. I'm just doing the unboxings. I don't know if you play any role-playing games or anything, or the first thing I did was I'll show you in a second. Let me just seal this issue up. So the first thing I unboxed was this beauty. I said I had 2.5 unboxed. I couldn't wait to open this one, so I wanted to start reading it. This is from Free League Publishing. It's the most recent Lord of the Rings role-playing game called The One Ring. And I talked about the gaming system, game mechanic details, and things like that. The book itself, it's $45 on sale, is awesome quality construction, meaning the cover material, the layout, the depth of content inside, the readability and all the artwork. I can't answer for the gaming system yet. I'm only a couple of chapters in, and it has all the pet peeves of my dislike of what I call die accumulator systems, like the D6 pool dice systems. And so, but then again, it still made me fun because BattleTech is like that, but it was fun. You know what I mean? So that was my first unboxing.
I haven't played any. I haven't played any of that, so.
So
I'm working my way up to it. No, huh?
Okay, no big deal. Everyone has their own hobbies. I started playing Dungeons and Dragons when I was like 8 or something. So,
Have you ever thought of doing a? Have you ever thought of doing a on YouTube? Have some people on and play online.
Well, here's the thing.
Stream or something?
I've been stuck for the last 20 years. Every time I've played, I've been forced to Dungeon Master. And I enjoy that, right? But it is a lot of work, even though I enjoy it, right? But I want to actually play now. You know what I mean? I want to have someone else DM and me play.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
And I was in for a while, like my friend who disappeared, my friend Mike, what was this? The Broken Astronomer, OBG70 or whatever. He just disappeared from the internet. I thought he and I were going to be good buddies. East Coast, West Coast had similar interests, similar age.
Yeah.
We both like role-playing games, and he just disappeared off the internet. So I hope he's okay. So Mike, if you're out there and you happen to listen to this, man, I hope you're okay. I hope your family's okay. And I don't want to go in personal situation. He's a good guy. He did amateur astronomer, had telescopes. It was great. It's great content. Anyway. And he's in the same crew of the White Cloaks, where we all annoyed about the damage to Wheel of Time and all that sort of stuff. Anyway,
right.
So he got me into an online game. Yeah. I paid. There was a DM you had to pay $10 a month for, but I was like okay with that because it was penny and you get a couple good content out of it. And then that group kind of fell apart, and then that DM Greg, who's a good DM, went on to another group, and I didn't have the time to work into that group, and so now I'm getting back into it. I reloaded Fantasy Grounds on Linux. So I'm gonna. If I probably will be closer to finding a group. If this right leg injury, it's not quite as bad as last week. Did I tell everyone about last week, Jacob? I don't even remember. But it still hurts, and it's still awkward to sit. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm sitting kind of a funny angle, like not straight forward. I'm kind of leaned back at an angle just to keep that angle, that leg at a slight pressure release. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like every time I lean forward like this, the leg starts to get a little uncomfortable, and so I have to lean back a little. And I have enough problems sitting because of the disability with the tumor on my groin. This leg just makes it like more annoying. But anyway, back to happier things, right? Until I give you a rant about the post office in 2 minutes. So this comic, I'll make myself big again, Jacob, just so we could see. Let's do.
well,
no, not that view. Where's the view?
Role playing stuff.
Go ahead, Jack. Keep
Matt?
going. I'm here. You're here.
Yeah, the role playing. I'm probably going to be doing a group thing on my channel if you're interested.
Oh yeah, let me know. I mean, the thing is, as long as I don't have to DM right now. I mean, I might get back around to it because apparently there's money to be made as a professional dungeon master now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
but I'd love to find a group that can play, that can get to playing some, some game. I'll figure, depending if I like the game or not. But let me know. Oh, we have Sammy Threepeat on with us now.
Yeah.
Welcome to Friday, Sammy. We're just doing we're chit-chatting, RPGs, what's going on, and all that sort of stuff. We have Jacob with me. Anyone else wants to come on, we know. Does everyone besides me hate the new YouTube layout? Raise your hand if you do. Jacob, I can imagine you're raising your hand. I'm looking at the other screen where, so I can, you monitor yourself live or whatever. And they changed it, so now the chat goes all the way to the top. So you can, and they don't show, and they no longer show, like you have to. They have an advertising banner, so you have to scroll down. Remember how below where your video was, they would show how many people, you could still see how many people are listening or whatever.
Right,
that's gone.
It's over to the right now.
But it's hidden under the
Should
chat.
Be over to the right. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Mine switched back. I don't know what's going on.
I think they're trying to like sucker people into getting used to it, kind of like Pavlov's dogs, where they introduce the dogs to low grade electricity at first, so they don't, and keep increasing it so much, Yeah. So that's a real scientific experiment, guys. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to a little happier stuff. Okay. So this comic, and I'm going to say full screen to do the unboxing, Jacob. Then we'll go back to share screen. Okay. So this is John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. Now I freely admit I'm getting it because I'm a John Carpenter fan. It's a 3-issue miniseries, so it's not like I'm bankrupting myself for it. But it's kind of, the first issue was kind of okay. I would. If John Carpenter name on this, I would have bought the first issue, decide I'm not going to buy another issue, and put it in my bin of giveaway / throwaway type of thing, But because it's like a 3-issue miniseries and it's John Carpenter, I'm going to give it a little chance. When you like someone's work, you'll give them more of a chance. You know what I mean? I mean, the artwork isn't bad,
right?
It's John Carpenter's style work, so to speak. Right, and the team doing it, fairly. I'll get close up on the team's name. You have Michael Moriarty, Alberto Jimenez, Albuquerque, a lot of really big last name there. Jason Wordy and Nate Picos. That's our team doing the comic. So I guess John Carpenter's there in editorial fashion, and it looks like it feels like a John Carpenter type story. But it wasn't a very appealing one, if you know what I'm saying. So let's put this away. And the last comic, I think I bought 2 of these. I have a feeling 2 weeks ago, because everything is saying, reminded me that I'm pretty sure this is a double. I'll show it off again because this is really cool artwork. It's different style than I normally like. It's a 5-issue miniseries. It's really the artwork style is kind of really cool to me. It's from IDW.
Yeah.
It's a $5 book. It is not $5 book construction. So. If I ever get big enough, this may be something I throw into a giveaway. Issue 5 of this, next comic. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our comic, so to speak. I have one more unboxing. Now, this is also comic related. Again, because of my, you might have missed it, Jacob. The cart. I normally, how you normally see a cart to my left here. The wheels broke off of it, and I almost had a disaster because I had so many books piled in that thing. Yeah. Luckily, it fell against the wall. I was able to take everything off of it, take the wheels off of it, put these sliders on it so it's now a stationary shelf. But all my convenient reach to my scissors and tape and all that's on there is out of reach now. So I have to figure a workaround for that. But I have this piece that I removed from my computer, like the back where you put a graphics card in, and that works as a convenient cutting blade. So
there you go.
I have been eyeing this product for several years. So I'm always on interest for good horror comics. This is a completed series that ran in from 2015 to 2019. I believe it was 32 issues, I want to say. It's kind of a horror anthology. It's the same my understanding is it's the same place, Harrow County, with the same cast of characters, but the stories change. There's no one main cast character, right? And this is the omnibus edition for how to put it, like there have been several collections of this. There was a hardcover collection, there was a graphic novel collection. This is called the omnibus edition. It's just everything put together, nothing special extra. The first 16 issues. Hey, Melvin, welcome to the show. If everyone, Melvin Deeply has joined us in the in the chat. Just look at the artwork. It's the artist, the guy who made this comic. He drew it in he didn't use a computer. He did it watercolors, live watercolors. So you can kind of see the difference, Yeah. So I'm very enthused about this. It weighs 10 pounds. By the way, that other horror graphic novel I got last week, what was it called? The Witches with a Y, WYT, was great. Apparently it was a 6-issue miniseries from a couple years ago, and we talked about this, Jacob, all the time, where it's better if they leave you wanting more than too much, right? This story left me wanting to see so much more, right? And it was a great 6-issue miniseries, just absolutely great,
Cool.
So that's the unboxings and whatnot. Jacob, what's going on with you? Let's get to our guest involvement, right? Let's put Jacob back on screen. By the way,
that's nothing much. Funny. I was watching a Columbo last night, and there was a house. I was like, that house looks awfully familiar. So I was like, it's like you get on the tip of your brain. It's like,
yeah.
I know I've seen that before. And boom, it hit me. It was the house on Galaxy Quest.
Oh.
The main character's house, and that's like a famous house that they've done lots of stuff on. And it's called the Style House or something.
Let's see if we can.
It's been on all kinds of
Style House.
STAHI house.
It's the Style House. Oh, Style House. The Style House.
Stop.
I think I found this website. Let's do this one. I don't think this is
one of those houses. That's it. That's it.
Oh, it is? Okay. Apparently there's a book about it.
See, there's the pool.
Yeah,
when they come up to his house.
Yeah. I've seen this before. It's been in so many things, you know. So
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sh-
It's
yeah,
even been in The Simpsons.
yeah. I'm sure we've seen it. Oh, maybe they say what it's been in.
Yeah, there should be a list of what it's been in.
Nobody famous ever lived here. The inside story of the Style House.
Yeah,
Commercial use. No, they don't.
but it hadn't changed much. They hadn't changed much in it at all. I mean, the round
Yeah,
fixtures are all the same.
yeah. So here's the Wikipedia for it. Let's see if they mention some of the stuff it's been in. Here we go. Oh, films include Smog, The First Power. That's a really cool horror movie with Lou Diamond Phillips, otherwise known as La Bamba to many of us. Tracy Griffith, Jeff Keeber, Marquette Williamson, who, by the way, the guy who played the villain in this, if you watch any of the Law and Order spin-offs, like the Chicago series, he was in Chicago Med last night as a prisoner with dementia, and he was really good. The guy, I'll get his face so you can see who I'm talking about, because you've seen him in tons of stuff. You can see his face right there, obviously.
Yeah.
Jeff Kober, see this guy?
Oh yeah, that guy.
He's been in tons and tons of stuff. Always plays villains or weird characters.
Yes.
It's obviously in multiple Star Trek shows.
He was in X-Files a couple
He's
times.
70. Yeah. Here's his filmography. First Power was a really good horror film. Way better than I thought it ever would be. You know what I'm saying? Like it's basically the premise of a serial killer is trying to make a deal with the devil type of thing, to gain the powers of hell, and the good guys have to use the three powers granted by God, because apparently fallen angels can grant those powers as well. Whatever. It sounds kind of stupid. It turned out to be really good. You know. He was in Hidalgo. Remember that movie, Jacob?
Yeah.
What else? Television. I remember in Highway to Heaven. He was in the 1980s Twilight Zone revival. I probably watched him on Falcon Crest because I watched that with my grandma, even though I don't remember it too much. X-Files. He played Bear in the episode Ice. The Commish. Walker Texas Ranger. I used to watch that show. Earth 2. I wish this show had gotten more of a run than it did. It was basically like a colony to another
remember
planet.
that.
Yeah, I liked it. Kindred the Embrace, which was, speaking of role-playing games, was basically was it the first role-playing game live-action television show? It was based on Vampire the Masquerade.
Huh.
It was only on for like 7 episodes, but again, if you're a fanboy, you're a fanboy, you know. The Pretender, that's an underrated TV show. Obviously, he's a one-off character in most of this, right?
Yeah.
He was on some episodes of Buffy, Charmed, 7 Days, another underrated science fiction show. Poltergeist: The Legacy. I have, by the way, you can probably guess, Jacob, I have a lot of these shows in Netflix, so
Yeah. He was typecast the weird bad guy.
Yeah. Supernatural. I remember him in that. Oh my God. It's always nice to come across these actors. But anyway, we're talking about the Style House, right? So the Style House, where they just showed me all the stuff where The Marrying Man, Karina, Playing by Heart, Why the Fools Fall in Love, Galaxy Quest, Nurse Betty, and Where the Truth Lies. Adam 12. Oh, used to love that show. Adam 12 and Emergency. They're both on Netflix. Columbo, like you said. Music videos. I mean, so this house has obviously been over the place,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Simpsons cartoon.
Now, because of my leg injury, I wasn't planning on trying to push this show too long. So I only really have like one article to go over, and then we'll do a little random stuff. And I have a cool movie that I watched last
Okay.
night, Jacob, that we could talk about. So just we're gonna start with some sad news. This happened like literally last week, right as we're ending the show is when I got it. Um, I mean, Dabney Coleman, longtime character actor, kind of like the guy we just talked about, but characterized in a different way. Always plays that sort of maybe father like or office manager or spy master, like that type of managerial character, you know.
Right.
Um, he was 92. He passed away about a week ago. Uh, his roles, for those who don't know, we'll go over some of the ones I remember, obviously. I love this movie, The Towering Inferno. It's Irwin Allen did it.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many big name stars in this movie. You see, ever seen
Yeah.
it, Jacob? Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. I think it's one. Is it the?
Yeah, I think I have.
I think it might be the
Steve
only
McQueen's in it,
film.
right?
Steve McQueen and Paul Newman, the only film they ever did together.
Yeah.
It might be. Dabney Coleman played a fire marshal. You know, uh, Richard Chamberlain was in here. You know, the cast of this film, man. I should go rewatch it. You know, William Holden, Faye Dunaway, Fred Astaire, Susan Blakely, Richard Chamberlain, Jennifer Jones, O.J. Simpson, Robert Vaughn. He died recently too. Did we talk about
Jeez.
Robert Vaughn? Well, obviously the Juice died recently, but didn't Robert Vaughn? We talked about him dying a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert Wagner, another great actor. You know, and there's more. Those are just the big names. I mean, if you go to the full cast listing, you can keep going down to list all people. You know, here's David Coleman as Deputy Chief, Don Gordon. You know, that was such a great movie for you know. And other stuff he was in, like he was in the 1970s Midway film, which I believe is the one with Charlton Heston. Glenn Ford's in there
Yeah,
for
I think you're
sure.
right.
You know? Yep, Charlton Heston, Henry Fonda. Another great cast: James Coburn, Glenn Ford, Hal Holbrook, Toshiro Mifune, Robert Mitchum, Cliff Robertson, Robert Wagner. It's like these same actors, all these same great actors over and over again. You know.
Yeah.
9 to 5, that was a good comedy, you know, back in there with Dolly Parton, Billy Thompson, and someone else I don't remember offhand. Probably the most famous movie I would say he's in is War Games, right? He played Dr. John McKittrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the best movie he was in, it's with Tom Hanks. It's The Man with One Red Shoe. It's a spy comedy. Um, and
Oh,
it's if you've never seen it, I actually have to. I know I don't have it in Netflix. I'm gonna go grab it, either buy it or whatever, or grab it. However, I have to get it because I want to watch it again. Now that I think about it, so it was legitimately funny, you know. But you can
the
see it
man
go
with
over his
one
list.
red shoe.
Yeah, basically they identify the premise. It's a remake of a French film where I think the French film was a serious film though, where they want to cover for their spy, so they leak that their spy is a man with one red shoe, but it's just a regular dude with one red shoe. You know what I mean? So he gets caught up in this whole
Yeah.
mess. Yeah, you know. Yeah. I mean, now they've
He
made
was
it.
also in Dragnet too.
Yeah, Dragnet. And his career continued into like the modern era. You know, if you look at all the roles, but he has
Yeah.
a television career, obviously. You know, um, he, uh, yeah, he played the older John. His final role was in an episode of Yellowstone, playing an older John Dutton Jr. Remember that?
Oh,
He
okay.
was in 12 episodes of Boardwalk Empire. The guy had an accomplished career, you know. And so I have these
Yeah.
links in the below, so you can check it out. Uh, Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't put this tab while I was going over his stuff because I'm a dum dum, you know. Yeah,
That's okay.
and there's his role from the Tower Inferno.
Uh,
You can see the picture over there, you know. Okay, so let's. Oh, okay. So I saw a movie last night, Jacob, called um, Greyhound.
Yes, yes, that is good. That's a
Yeah, I
good
finally
movie.
watched it, and um, I was surprised how much I liked it. So I'll get my criticism out of the way first. Okay. Have you seen it, by the way, Jacob?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. So spoilers for Greyhound if you haven't watched it, people. If I can find the trailer on Twitter, I'll play the trailer on Twitter from Twitter. You know. It oh, let's just get us back here when we talk. So my main criticism is that Tom Hanks plays the same role over and over again in these type of movies. You know, the stalwart leader of some sort,
Yeah.
whether it's Saving Private Ryan or the film he did, which was really good a couple years ago. We played the captain on the vessel that's taken over by pirates. Um,
Yeah.
you know the movie I'm talking about, and
Forget what that
and
was
he
called.
tends to play, yeah, tend to play.
Yeah.
So that was my main. As I knew going into it, there's the same character that Tom Hanks always plays, and the other thing was there's some pacing issues in the middle of the film. It felt like they could have cut, like they just kept doing the same thing. Yet another attack for no, shit blowing up. I think they're trying to build tension. Oh, hey, Melvin gave
Yeah.
us some info here. For yeah, Newman and Queen were also in Somebody Up There Likes Me. So there's two movies they did tied together. Yeah. Um. Anyway, uh, thanks, Melvin. And I think if they had cut a little bit in the middle, it would have gone from being a really good film to a great film. Like just a little, like they felt like,
Yeah.
or make the stakes to one of those attacks in the middle a little higher. Like at the end, you remember when spoilers, guys, spoilers, okay? Remember at the end when they had those thousands of soldiers cheering for them, when they had done their work, show that they
Yeah.
somehow saved one of those ships in the middle of that. You know what I mean? Like the U-boat was
Yeah.
going to take one of the
Definitely.
ships out, but they hit them just in time or something to make one of those repetitive sequences in the middle less repetitive. That's my only crit. Otherwise, it's a great
Yeah.
film. The pacing is overall okay. Um, it's is it? I'd want to know. I never even looked this up. Let's see. We'll do this together. Movie Greyhound. Okay, it's based on a 1955 novel, The Good Shepherd, by C.S. Forrester. Why do I know C.S. Horatio Hornblower? That's why. Okay, so he's the author who wrote the Horatio Hornblower novels. Okay, um, and 1955 British novel about nautical warfare in World War II by C.S. Forrester, exploring the battle for the Battle of Atlantic, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, in order to fund the war, as it were, they had to get these convoys of ships across the ocean and prevent the other side, which was the Germans, basically in the Atlantic, from sinking them. So you had to send like your basically civilian your they would take civilian ships like luxury liners, load them up with soldiers or material, and then kind of have to pay the crews extra to sail them across the ocean. And they would get sunk a lot. You know, Even though the majority made it across, there was
Oh,
still
yeah.
what was the statistic at the end? Matter of fact, I'll call it up. I don't remember, but I'll call it up.
Yeah. Ships full of P-51 Mustangs were sunk. It's crazy.
And at the end of it, they have like real recorded footage. So this is one of the few films I watched the credits all the way through because they had like a lot like actual footage from real events. Okay, here we go. I got it. So I want to share. Let's stop screen share. Let's get another present going. Share screen. So this is just basically, the during the battle, over 3,500 ships carrying millions of tons of cargo were sunk. 72,200 souls were lost forever. And then at the end, I won't go crazy with it, but you'll see they start showing the actual real footage from some of these crossings,
Yeah.
So this movie was very
crazy.
worth watching. Yeah.
The U-boats were just right there, and you couldn't do anything about it. I mean, you could, but you had to. By the time you maneuvered, and they would have gone under, and it's crazy.
Well, the only saving grace was they had to be on the surface to actually sink you. Like 10 years later, submarines could be 500 feet, 1,000 feet down and sink ships. But in order to actually target,
they had to be
back
level
then,
with you to shoot.
Yeah,
they had to be level with the ships to shoot.
Yeah, that was like the only saving grace for that whole mess, But that movie was amazingly good, and I was surprised how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Tom Hanks.
I've heard stories. Yeah, I've heard stories of ships getting shot out by subs, and the sea is so rough that a wave will go up and the torpedo goes over the boat and into the water on the other side.
Well, so I know this from real world work, right? Many, many years ago, back like in 1992 or whatever, one of my fraternity brothers hired me to help him do some computer work, right? Because I was going to school for computer engineering. He was an electrical engineer. And back then, electrical engineers had no idea how to use computers. So I had to help him program. Like his side job, while he was working as a PhD, his side job was designing a control circuitry for nuclear missiles. Okay, not that he could officially admit that, but that's what it was. And so at one point he had me running this software, and the school I was going to was Stevens Tech, had one of the highest amount of compute back then with all the mainframes. And he had me running this software, running like 50 copies of the damn thing. Every time I would run, it would take about 2 days, and there would be a data plot of like 20 billion data points, which back then was like only a 30 megabyte file, but it was still doesn't seem like a lot, but it is back then, And a couple of days in, I started getting complaints about like, why is this freshman using up 75% of the entire school's computer processing power? So, but he had permission to do it because they had defense contracts or whatever. So he said he's doing it for me. You leave him alone. So right. I was curious as to what I was actually running that was consuming that much processing power. So I kind of looked into the code of it, and I got as far as before I read some of the code, and I was this software is property of Her Majesty's Naval Nuclear Weapons Division, class so and so. And I'm reading through the code, and then I'm like, and then I kind of figured out based on what he was doing and just what would be input, that he was simulating nuclear missile strikes at sea. Okay, so I learned a lot about the physics of it. I kind of learned from talking to him, but I learned a lot about the sort of of like what you have to do to have ships. So for those who didn't know where I'm getting, this is why I learned this stuff. This is why I learned about what Jacob was talking about. Even when you look at the ocean for a mile, it seems flat. It's not. Okay? Or when you see waves that look like they're doing this, they're really doing this. Okay? You just can't see it because your eyesight averages out at that distance, averages out, so it seems like less than it is, Which is why, when storms hit, they're always worse than they seem because your brain finally gets overwhelmed by the data, So it turns out when you use a nuclear missile on the ocean, that the ocean will absorb most of the energy. Okay, especially when the fact that when you're let's say you're in a destroyer and you want to fire on the enemy, you time it so when you're coming up the swell, oftentimes just as you're passing over, so you're braced into the swell, then you release your fire, right? Because if you're on the backside of the swell and you do it, it could tip you, And Whereas on the front
Yeah.
side, you go into the swell and you go down it. So that's all built into the timing of these firing patterns, right? So with nuclear weapons, let's say you want your weapon to hit, right, or any sort of missile or whatever, like you were saying, like the bombs or missiles you would go right over. Like let's say you aim your torpedo at a ship, right? So you're aiming the ship here, but the swell is doing this. It could just as it's about to hit, go right below, and then the
Yeah.
torpedo hits. And remember how they showed a scene in Greyhound where the torpedo just exploded in the water, right? Well, what
Yeah.
happened was it would hit the next swell, which I understood because I knew the
Yeah.
physics of
Right.
it.
Right.
Yeah, but and same thing with nuclear weapons. If you let's say you're going to detonate things in the air, right? So let's say it detonates from this point, and the ships are all around it here. If you detonate it, but the swell is up protecting the ship, it will absorb most of the energy hitting the ship, transferred into the ocean like a grounding effect. So
Right.
it's really the ocean is very complicated in terms of like the physics involved, the engineering involved, and all that. And it's uh, and this movie did a good job of showing that sort of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. Did.
yeah. That's when do we talk about Masters of the Air on your show, Jacob? Like in 2 months or whatever, end of
Yeah.
June or early
Something like that.
July. Yeah. I'll bring it up then.
Yeah.
But
Something.
I
Yeah.
thought
Something like that.
the guys doing the CGI work for the aerial fights did a fairly decent job taking into account the actual physics. Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about when we get there for that. Hey, it's Pops. It depends on Pops on the strength of the blast, and obviously, for those who don't know, an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, only happens in the atmosphere. Like in space, it's all released as mostly X-rays, gamma rays, and a small percentage of visual light. Which X-rays and gamma rays are a type of light; they're just not visible, right? In atmosphere, a lot of those, I believe it's the gamma rays or the X-rays, hit the atmosphere and turn into that concussive heat wave. And also release the electromagnetic pulse.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pops, you missed the comics we were talking about.
I would imagine salt water would affect an EMP too.
Well, I'd have to. This is where I'd have to like. This is an area I know the atmosphere, but I don't know about water per se. Because the EMP is an interaction with the air in the atmosphere, but I don't know if the water were generated as well. That'd have to look up. There's let's see if it's still out there. There's a website called Atomic Rockets. Let's share, present, share screen, go back to Greyhound. Okay, we got it. So this website, let's see if they're still out there. Atomic Rockets. Hey, there they are. Now, I don't know if this site is still updated very much, but there's a lot of cool actual science here about things like space and where is the like nuclear weapons in space and all that sort of stuff. I guess if he has Patreons, it must still be active. I wonder if he took his content. Okay, so you could explore, but there's a lot of cool stuff in this guy's site about physics and space and stuff like that. Okay, so.
Yeah, cool.
And he also explores a lot of the physics of hard science fiction. Okay, so so let's do a few. Jacob, you had your show Dial In for Murder this week. How'd that go?
Good. Had a purple Valkyrie on. It was fun.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, she's pretty cool. Yeah, I just never got into Hitchcock other than The Birds. I just never, I recognize his greatness, but I was never like his movie. Just for some reason didn't pop to me.
Yeah.
What's up for you next week, Jacob?
I need to decide that. I'm not sure.
Could you repost your calendar? Because I know what the one I signed up for, but I don't remember the date. So just put your calendar, and then
Yeah, I will. I'll send it to you.
And then I got how was you?
It was going to be the professional.
Oh, yeah, the
but there's
professional.
some
Yes.
subject matter that's a little. There's some subject matter in that's a little uncomfortable.
Well, you'd have to edit that out, like just you know what I mean, like be selective about it.
Yeah, but it's a pretty big part of the show. It's like the part where the little girl's in love with him, and it's just weird. I don't know.
Well, she has a crush, okay, but he.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, this actually came up with the film. There's nothing creepy happening in the film, okay. She has a childhood crush on him. He thinks of her as his daughter. That's the extent of their relationship. Okay. A lot of people try to play it up as well. There's a creepy like you know how those people who want to look for like look for like creepiness and everything and say, well, they really mean this or whatever. No, there was nothing creepy. She because he saved her. I mean, I hate to sound so trite about this. When you're when you're saved by someone, especially by a woman, I guess it's an instinct from primordial days where you'll sort of hero worship the person who saves you. You know what I mean? And so she developed a crush on him in the sense that a natural for a female being saved by a powerful male would, in biological terms. He never abused that, and he thought of her as his daughter by the end of that film. Spoilers for the 35-year-old movie, right?
Right.
So there ain't anything creepy in there. Now, I'm not saying you should do it and to defy the odds, Jacob. You got to protect your channel. But for those listening, there isn't actually anything creepy in the film. It's not a creeper film.
Yeah. No.
Let's do a little random articling. I know the next thing I should be on with you is Alien, right?
I think. Let me look real quick. I'll pull it up. Okay, the next one with you is True Grit, and that's on June 11th.
Let me put that on my calendar right now. June 11th. I'm looking at May. I'm like, where's June 11th? 5 on Sunday. So June 11th, the week after my birthday week. We're doing it live, Jacob. We're live we're live adding my calendar. Jacob Ironside, True Grit, the original, of course. I am not planning on rewatching.
55-year anniversary.
Yeah. For those who listen, I'm not planning on rewatching the remake just to do any sort of comparison. I watched it once. That's more than I ever feel I ever have to watch that movie. So.
Yeah.
What was the next day after that, Jacob?
The 18th or June 18th, Speed. And then July 9th for Alien.
They're actually talking about making a Speed. Keanu wants to make Speed Part 3.
No, there's no need.
I would be okay with a Speed 3 well, let me phrase that differently. I would have liked Speed 2 if it didn't have Sandra Bullock, if it was just two other characters caught up in something where you had to be like they couldn't slow down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's two ways to go with the joke in Speed. Yeah, they go the Die Hard way where the same thing happens to the man the same time and the same day again and again, right?
Yeah, right.
or you go where it's just a circumstance that you just keeps happening to different people. You know what I mean? And yeah. So like to me, Speed was a great franchise if they had different people because there's a lot of things you could think of where where you can involve that. Like the boat was an interesting one, right? They did a train, they did a bus and a train in the first movie, right? You could do it with an
Right.
airplane. In fact, I think they did a knockoff of Speed based on an airplane that couldn't slow down. It was with was it Gina Thomas or and the actress played the flight attendant, and the plane couldn't slow down. Um, I thought the movie was kind of meh, but the point is the concept could play into a lot of things. Not so you couldn't make 50 movies out of it, but you could do 4 or 5 good action thrillers out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
The
let's
same
just
thing
do
happening to the same guy is nonsensical, really.
Well, you have to play into that, like 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 in Die Hard 2, he played into that as the joke. You know what I mean? And obviously, Die Hard
Yeah.
3 was a different day. So the joke was a joke in Die Hard 3 and 4 was like not the same day, but the same type of thing. Like remember when they brought him in after Roger and he goes, "Oh, it's this guy again." Do you remember that? It's like,
Yeah.
like
Right.
like of all the New York cops that could be wanted by the terrorists, it's this guy again. But so that worked for Die Hard 3 and 4. And for those of you who don't know why Die Hard 5 failed, because it didn't become a Die Hard film. The premise of Die Hard films is this stuff happens to Bruce Willis by accident. Like it's not right.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
but in Die Hard 5, it failed because the first half of the film was a spy movie with Bruce Willis's character's son. Right? So when
Yeah.
Bruce Willis
Yeah.
finally shows up trying to help his son out, then shit starts happening by accident. Then it feels like a Die Hard movie.
Right. Yeah.
Oh God, did you see the headline on this page, Jacob?
Oh no.
This is going to be utter failure. In fact,
What's
I
the?
hope this.
Why do we need a remake? What? We don't need a remake. Why? Even
The
that, but then
entire.
oh, no dwarves. We can't have dwarves. That's offensive. What about is it offensive to the dwarves that are actors who would get a job from it?
Yeah, exactly. Plus, I think part of the in joke of them all being dwarves was that like they're being hired as cheap labor, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're supposed to say, wait a minute, why are they hiring dwarves for this? Like, why aren't they treated with more respect or whatever? It
Oh.
I had to take a sip there before I talk more. My throat was going. Uh, yeah, this is going to be stupid.
Remakes in general. Just really why?
This
Especially
movie,
when you had something good.
yeah, this movie is going to lose so much. It's a TV show. It's going to be so not watched. Like it's not going to. It's not going to deserve. Like it's not going to be bad enough that it deserves to be. Because imagine combining that with Taika Waititi's stupid sense of humor. People forget,
Yeah.
that all that potty humor he throws in.
Yeah, this would just be another Willow.
Yeah. Well, it's not just going to be woke though; it's going to be worse than woke.
Well, at least Willow still had the dwarves in it.
On the other hand, possible good news. Have you ever seen Shoot 'Em Up?
I have not.
It's in Netflix. You got to watch it. It's an action movie that how a lot of action movies take themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
This is a parody of those action movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like it seems like it takes itself too seriously, but then you understand that they're actually making fun of those films, but it's still a good action film. It's like it's a high quality film, and
right.
I don't know if again. How do we put it, Jacob? I always say better to leave you wanting more than that type of thing. I don't know if I really want a sequel to this, but if the original guy is doing it and he hasn't gone woke, I'll watch it. So Uh,
Have you seen Kung Fury?
oh God, that was amazing.
I know, it's great.
I followed Kung Fury from the day it first came on the internet with the trailer. Um,
Yeah.
and
Kung
then
Fury.
yeah, and then the David Hasselhoff music video, the actual like I was like, and that's a good song. I mean, Hasselhoff's actually a
Yeah.
decent musician. You know, if you like, I'm just not a mainstream rock fan, which is what he is. But like, he's a decent voice, and I'm like, that's a good song. And then the 45-minute movie or whatever it was, and now they're making a sequel of gold. You know,
Yeah.
matter of fact, Kung Fury
That would make a
sequel,
good video, a retro video game.
Kung Fury 2. So it's just good. They're just gonna have the main character back. It's not gonna be a sequel to the original storyline. You know, like they're not gonna have the
Okay.
same more of Mecha Hitler or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger is gonna be. Oh, look at the actors who want to be in this thing.
Yeah,
Oh
Michael
God,
Fassbender.
yeah.
Wow.
Stars. Alexander
That's
Ship. The Hoff is. Oh, he's gonna be the Hoff 9000. Yeah. And did this? If this guy, if Sandberg, hopefully he'll do well. That's all I can say. You know.
I love that part where his partner gets killed and he's like, before I could react, I was struck by lightning and bit by a cobra.
Yeah. Like you're a bit younger, so you didn't grow up in the '80s, right, Jacob? That was pure '80s.
barely
Like
80s.
like if you were a kid in the '80s, all the weird movies with people being bit by snakes and kung fu magic and ninja
Yeah,
and
right.
all like all the crazy stuff in '80s movies, which is great, crazy stuff. Like Kung Fury
Yeah,
captured the essence of it, you know.
right.
I was gonna do. By the way, guys, I was gonna do a lot of music stuff this week, but my leg prevented me from prep. So I will have a more music-oriented show because Nightwish has a new video out. Um, Arion has new music out. Winter Sun's coming out in August with their full album. Blue Oyster Cult had an album I want to pick up out. So next week I'll try to get the music thing together so I can talk about that. Let's go back to finding a few articles. Fandom Pulse. I always like to check that site out once in a while. Did you hear about this one, Jacob?
No.
You know what Stellar Blade is?
Yes. I've heard all the stuff
Yeah. So apparently
on it.
Sony has realized. I bet that it was Sony America who had them censor it, and Sony Japan is like, "What the hell did you guys do? Like you're costing us money," and had them
Yeah.
uncensor it. Oh God. I'm glad for this.
That's
This is coming out on the PC, so I might try it out. Not just for the eye candy. Oh no, well, but um, like it's supposedly a great game. But I noticed something else when I look over here. Uh, Never forget, people. Just because we seem like we're coming back
oh
and we're
yeah.
we're, we're pushing back, doesn't mean we're winning. Okay, so they're apparently wokifying Magic the Gathering even more. I mean, it was bad enough when they had this crap, you know.
Umbre? What the
So
what?
yeah, they're trying to find words that they perceive as being non-offensive to people of color or what do they call them? Aboriginal people? No, not Aboriginal peoples. First peoples or whatever they want to call them now.
What is wrong with totem and tribal? I don't get that.
I don't know either. So
Oh gosh.
yeah, they did this offensive crap a while back with the Aragorn
Yeah.
cards.
Black Aragorn. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here's some of the cards. So a Felder, Umbra, a Bear Umbra. So I guess these would have been totems.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. So the cards have already rolled out with Umbra Amor attached to them, taking out the word totem, which implies shamanistic activity, and therefore, in the minds of the woke woods of the coast, must be some form of cultural appropriation. Totem armor, now Umbra armor, has a keyword ability. If enchanted, permanent will be destroyed. Instead, roll down to horrible. Okay, yeah.
That is so stupid.
Well, here you go. As Wizards of the Coast has gone out of its way to change these cards, also remove cards from this game like Invoke Prejudice in order to appease the woke mob. Yeah. What a horrible,
Just about
horrible.
every culture on Earth has something like a totem and tribe. I mean, every culture on Earth has come from tribal
Tribes, yeah.
peoples.
Yep. And but the important thing is, remember, people, just because we see Michael pushing back and gaining traction does not mean we're winning or we've won. Remember that.
Right.
Let's
It's
go.
an ongoing thing.
Yep.
It will always be.
Yeah. They expect us to say, "Oh, we won," and stop fighting so they can push back. So.
Right.
This is Dark Horizons. It's a pretty cool site. George Lucas talks Star Wars criticism. Okay, it's 4:16. So I'm about on time. Like we're about around 4:30. Star Wars creator and filmmaker George Lucas in Cannes this week received an honorary blah blah blah. What is it called? They would say it's all white men. Most of the people are aliens. The idea is you're supposed to accept people for what they are. Because all people are equal. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who do you think the heroes are in these stories? Why do you think Princess Leia was? She was the head of the rebellion. She's the one that was taking his young. He was anything and boisterous. Yeah, they don't understand that Princess Leia was a leader. Like what? Yeah. I hate. Woke people make me sicker and sicker every time they get their they put their like claws into stuff.
Yeah. Are you going to be on the Roman's Acolyte show or streams?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna watch it, but I'll watch it for Roman show just because I can just rip it apart as well as anyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I hate that. I know there's some people.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. I just hate being so negative all the time about stuff.
Yeah, me too. But I also every now and then I like ripping stuff apart because it needs to be.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, my next
have you noticed the size of the lightsabers in this? They're like twice the size. They look like they're twice the size of the old lightsabers.
Yeah, I'm kind of going in blind on it on purpose because I know I'm going to hate the trailers, so I'm just trying to go. I know just based on what I've read, I'm going to hate every single thing about this movie, this show, right? So yeah, I'm just going in blind. I'll watch the episodes and make my conclusion. You know what I mean, and not go crazy about it.
Yeah, we do get a lightsaber whip.
Well, I'm not opposed to that idea, but I don't imagine them doing it well
if it's done right.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like I always thought it would really cool to have other lightsaber, like a light naginata or a light spear with the spear as a lightsaber type of stuff. I was because in the games we always had that sort of stuff, like other weapons with little lightsabers, like like as long as it's reasonable, like a light whip was. I mean, we saw like something like a light whip in Star Trek with the Ferengi. They have like a laser whip or something like that.
Right. Yeah, there's some artwork of was it Star Wars Fallen Order?
Yeah.
Of the main character, he's like got his master's lightsaber, and his master was like some other alien, like twice as big as humans. So it's like a long hilt and long blade. I thought it was cool, kind of cool.
Okay. Let's see. Serious Star explains how Disney overhauled Daredevil Born Again. The stars of Daredevil Born Again, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, recently disclosed the most significant change to Disney's reboot series, which will receive a huge creative rework next year. Speaking to upfront, Cox and Duffy were asked about the change made when again to shipping. It originally wasn't going to be at all, but now it's a lot. What? Okay. I think I think the studio as well, that's a really fun balance to strike. If you're going to make a show and call it season one and it's a successful show and it's kind of beloved, you got to do people liked. Okay.
The only way they're going to get people's butts back in seats to watch this stuff is if they start getting rid of the people that created the mess that they've got themselves in now.
Well, I can't imagine them doing this show of Daredevil Born Again. Have you read the comic book? The comic arc?
No, I haven't.
So let's see. It's one of those. How do I?
I probably will. I'll add it to my list, but I've
Yeah.
got a comic book list.
You can probably get it as 1 or 2 trade paperbacks.
Right. Melvin, the Acolyte is going to be special.
Special. What again? Comic. Well, yeah, the comic article Born Again, obviously in Daredevil. It was Frank Miller. It was an article occurred in about like Daredevil 225 to 230, 235, somewhere in there, right? And
Right.
it involves Karen Page and heroin addiction, and you know how sometimes when women or even men get addicted to a drug, they can be abused, so to speak, by the addiction. People controlling them through the addiction. Well, Karen Page gets forced to do adult films in Mexico, and eventually she's so desperate for drugs, she for a shot of heroin, she reveals that Matt's Daredevil, and the Kingpin finds out. You know, so it's about and then there's a whole sort of ramifications of that and stuff, and saving Karen and getting her off the drugs, and it's a really well done. It's like a deconstruction of Daredevil, but not in a woke way. You know what I mean? Yeah, like that, Frank. Like deconstruction is supposed to help you analyze the characters and like what makes the character. You know what I mean, or the whatever. And Frank Miller did a good job with
Disney
that story.
Disney has no. Is not capable of doing that.
Correct. Yeah.
Right now.
Or ever.
Yeah.
Oh wait, a lot of ideas got lost. More George Lucas on Star Wars. Well, speaking about Khan, okay. I was the one who really knew what Star Wars was, who actually knew this world because there's a lot to it. The Force, for example, nobody understood the Force. When I started the other ones after I saw the company, a lot of the ideas that were in the original sort of got lost. But that's the way it is. You give it up, you give it up. Yeah. The quotes by Lucas. And that makes sense because the concept of the Force basically being the stand-in for God, which it was in Lucas's, disappeared in Disney version,
Yeah. Now it's like anybody can do it.
Yeah. I can't wait to see this movie, Furiosa. I am so stoked for it.
Yeah, I've been hearing good things about it.
Yeah. The what's his face? Brad. What do you know Brad as? Did they change YouTube again while we were like?
Yeah.
It's weird. Like the sidebar where you can find like your favorites and all that sort of stuff. It's gone.
Uh-huh.
Like what is
there
YouTube?
Should be a thing you click.
Well, I click it opens up, but there's nothing
left
there.
Hand. Huh. Yeah, they're doing some weird stuff. For me, they switched it to the where all the information about the video is over to the left or over to the right, and then they switched it back today. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. So
but I've heard YouTube's been slow for a lot of people.
Yeah, hopefully they'll fix their crap. Yeah. So I saw a short review by someone who uh what's his big the cinema snob. You know who the cinema snob is? He's
Yeah,
not as big as he used to be. But he used to be one of the big YouTuber reviewers, and now he's kind of he's calmed down a bit in recent years. But he did a 5 minute review of it, and he told and everything I like the mythology that George Miller creates is great in this film. It's very fast paced, like Mad Max films are supposed to be. So, um, you know what I mean. So everything I hear about this movie
yeah.
says it's going to be good. But we'll see.
I did hear there's a lot more CGI in it, but it's done well.
Well,
It's not your
Brad said
typical
that it's
rushed.
there, but it's there where it has to be. Like if you didn't have it in
Right,
there, like if you did that with like live action, you'd kill an actor. You know what I mean? Like
right.
yeah. So he says it's not because George Miller is a fan of the practical and the stunts and all that. So he made sure that stuff was there, so to speak.
Right.
Uh, anything else popping? Almost 4:30. So anything else popping up here? See, regaining intelligence. Anything? Nope, don't care about The Witcher season 4. Giant freaking robot. Giant freaking robot hasn't had an update in a while. It used to be a cool site.
Hmm.
Maybe whoever's running it just gave up. Do we do Screen Rant? Check them out. Oh, yeah, we just do Screen Rant. What?
What is it?
So this is Supernatural season 16 is finally possible after the CW disappointing TV show cancellation. This has to be someone writing this who doesn't understand that there's no way that season 16, like the way they ended it, can't happen. There's literally no like okay, spoilers for Supernatural, guys. It's only been off the air for what 8 years now. Um, they literally beat God at the end and get a new good God in. You know, so like
What?
they can't. Like I enjoyed all 15 seasons of Supernatural, even with the downtimes. Obviously, there's a little garbage in season 6 and all that, but they still have fun episodes. But there's no way they could do a season 7, 16. That's not trash. Just no way. Let's look at the box office. The numbers from the numbers. The internet is slow today. Okay, so Furiosa is out. Gross 3.5. So that's Thursday. So it's opening strong. It looks like. Box office weekly chart. So Kingdom of Planet of the Apes came gross 34 last week, I guess. 100 foot. My total. That's obviously these obviously. I don't know why they don't put the total international number in the same column. It irritates the hell out of me. Uh, the Fall Guy is falling like a rock, which it deserves to. Godzilla Kong is still going strong.
Really?
Still in the top 10. And let's look at the year. So the annual box office, Dune Part. This is U.S. numbers. Um, Dune Part 2 is 1. Godzilla Kong is 2. Kung Fu Panda 4 is 3. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. There's a big drop off here. If you notice, Jacob, on the U.S. money.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you see how it goes from like 193 with Kung Fu Panda down to 112 with Ghostbusters Frozen Empire,
Yeah.
Kingdom of Planet of the Apes, and Wonka. All like that.
I'm
Like all,
surprised Kung Fu Panda is up that high.
um, it's a kids movie. It's I've heard it's not ultra woke or anything, so I'm sure the
Yeah.
kids are just going in there and enjoying it or whatever. I wonder, do they show international? Uh, See, I wish they would put like you can get wherever the list of annual theatrical international records chart index 24 worldwide. Okay, here we go. This shows everything. I think so. Dune Part Two, 711 million, 282 U.S., 429 overseas. Remember when the U.S. like this is what happened? They destroyed the U.S. film market, and it used to be the U.S. would match or exceed the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And Dune Part Two, as far as I know, did not open in China at all. International.
Huh.
Oh no, it did go in China finally. Like 20 million bucks. Okay, 48 million total in China. So okay, so they did get some Chinese money out of it. Okay.
What did you think of Dune Part 2?
Um, I enjoyed the first part more than the second part. I thought, like much like I think of Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings films, as a movie in and of itself, it was really good. As an adaptation, because of the changes in the second part, it was kind of meh, you know. Um,
Yeah.
my biggest pet peeve. So to not go crazy with this, the biggest thing they took out of the 'cause Dune is like the Lord of the Rings. Is such a large. Oh hey, love it. Welcome to the show, late but ever. There's just so much material in those books that you have to take something out to make like 2 hour movies. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like in Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson took out the War of the Ring. There's a lot of stuff that was going on that he didn't depict that should have been that right. Um,
Right.
in Dune, he took out all of the politics, right? And not to me, that's the thing I love the most about Dune is the politics.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Me
yeah,
too.
but to make it fit into 5 hours, right? He had to take something out, and you know, doing a 5 hour film with like if you didn't take the politics out, what were you going to take out, right? So that
Right.
explains why you lost a lot of people's storylines, especially in the second film. That being said, because he also shortened the time skip from 3 years in the past to being only 9 months, basically, right? Um, and because he did those two things, Chinese entire storyline where she has Paul's first child, the child's murdered by the Harkonnens, where she becomes one of the Sayadina, one of the Fremen leaders. She's a whole
Right.
holy woman and all that. She's a Fremen leader and all that. Um, well, all that happens, but in the novel, right? But they edit all that out. So what do they replace it with? Chani being a whiny bitch, right?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I mean, that's kind of my thoughts on Dune Part Two. Like, I'll wind up just skipping Shiny parts of it when I watch it again.
Right. Yeah.
But just to finish the review, so Dune Part Two and Godzilla Kong are our top two worldwide. Dune has like a $200 million advantage. Uh, the next Kung Fu Panda, which probably I'm guessing Kung Fu Panda is going to be strong enough to keep going a little more than Godzilla Kong did. I don't know what YOLO is. Is it a foreign movie? What is it? Uh, some sort of teen angst film, maybe. I don't know. What is Pegasus? These got to be like Japanese or Chinese movies because the characters. Look at the script next to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then did you watch The Beekeeper, Jacob?
No, I've heard some good things about it. I haven't seen it though.
Yeah, it's starring Jason Statham. The plot's pretty simple. He's a kind of ultra covert special agent assassin who is trained in such a way to be relentless. He's a beekeeper. They call
Right.
them beekeepers, and it was surprisingly good. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. But Statham does that. Like remember the first Transporter film? I don't know if you ever watched that, but Like I thought this
Yeah, I
was
have.
stupid, but I enjoyed the first Transporter film more than I ever thought I would. You know. So,
Right.
yeah. Madam Web made more money than Argyle. There are a lot of these. Have got to be Chinese language films. So there's a lot. So a lot of them on the worldwide box office. Yeah. So that's our review of the numbers. I think I'm pretty much reviewed out, Jacob. Like there's nothing else left to say. I think.
All right.
So Jacob, I know we talked about before, but let's wrap up what you got coming up.
Yeah. Tomorrow was going to be my Saturday, end of the month show, but with Memorial Weekend and stuff, it kind of fell flat, I guess. So I'll just reschedule what we're going to talk about. And Sunday evening, I'm going to be on Mr. Brown Alliance show. And then Tuesday, I'm going to do The Professional.
So you're definitely going to do it?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. Do you have you have enough people for it?
I have my regulars actually two of my regulars, and Dempsey's going to be on, but there's room if you want to jump on that one.
Yeah. I mean, I'll jump on it. It's 8 o'clock my time, or it's earlier.
Right, it's 8 your time. Should be 8
Okay,
Eastern.
I can talk about that, and I can emphasize that there's nothing creepy in it. It's in your imagination, So.
Right.
But,
it's in your imagination.
Yeah, and that of course stars the great John Reno, who is in so many good movies that people need to watch. So.
Yeah, and
then,
of course I'll be on. I will be on Roman's show next or Thursday. I think it's just a free range.
Yeah,
and then I'll be on Potato Raven's channel next Friday, talking the Two Towers.
And then and obviously my show next week too, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty much free on Fridays, so yeah.
So we can consider Jacob our regular guest. Is that even a thing, or our guest star, or whatever? Yeah. Okay. I'll be on Jacob's show. We talked about that with Leon the Professional next week, which I will now live put on my calendar. This is live action. Matt's editing his calendar in real time, guys. It's real time, right? So that's on May 28th, right? Leon the Professional. Okay. So real time editing, guys. You saw it first. We'll be a Roman show next Thursday, and then for the Acolyte, on the questioners, we did 2 short videos this week. One about a Peacock Network special, Queer Planet, right? So.
Oh no.
Yeah, and normally on that show we could talk for 5 hours about anything. We couldn't talk for more than 10 minutes, I think, about this stupid. We reviewed the trailer for it, basically, and then we had an hour-long talk about the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Prime teaser trailer, and some ancillary stuff that split off of that. So that was that. Now you might have noticed that there's not a lot of live content, not a lot of my regular content with reviews. This leg has hurt. I basically don't want to sit on my computer as much as I do because of the leg injury. So I sit there, do my work, and then the live stream or whatever. But I've been trying to sit on my bed or lay on my bed just so this leg heals enough to stop hurting me like someone's driving a knife into it. Yeah. But I will finish out with a rant, okay? And I will check in real life to see if the rant has changed. I'm going to go to eBay, way back on eBay, I bought through Ron's Comic Closet, which is a good site. It's a good for comics. There, Pops helped me find it. Right. I purchased. They should have been shipped to me. I bought on. They were shipped here on May 5th. Should have been here by May 11th. They handed it off to the U.S. Post Office on May 6th, and the U.S. Post Office has not had a single scan and update of it since then. And when I called the post office yesterday,
it goes into the black hole of the post office.
Yep. So I called my local post office. No answer. 20 minutes. I called the next one on the list, which is the post office in New York State, because of where I live. I'm closer to New York State than I am to most New Jersey. I'm in New Jersey. And she's like, "Why are you calling New York? You live in New Jersey." I'm like, "You were the second closest post office to me, according to the U.S. Post Office." And so she said, "Well, normally," but she took time to explain to me, nothing can happen until it's scanned. It's probably somewhere in the mailing system moving around, and nothing's going to be updated until they scan it. Wait till 1 month passes. Then contact the original guy, say it never got here, so he can claim the insurance on it and refund your money. Then she says, "I hope they send you the package anyway, and you get your money back." So she's very down on the post office, even being a
hopefully that's what happens.
Yeah,
you get the package and your money back.
And I won't feel guilty because the post office, every time anything goes from like Amazon to the post office or wherever, I'm like, please God, no.
Well, it does. It's like you see it getting tracked, and then it goes to the post office. Like, where did it go? Disappeared. And then it shows up on your porch, and like a day or two later, it says shipped or delivered.
Well, there's like I had a lot of relatives. I had a lot of relatives that used to work for the post office before they were retired, and so I would always just call them, like "Ma, where's my package?" She'd look in the system for me or whatever. And one day I ordered something from Amazon, and it was medication, right? And so like it gets lost. I call Mama, "Where's my medication?" Because it's not like I'm not gonna die. It's like I got a prescription, but it wasn't I didn't need it right away. I just needed it. So I went to the Amazon pharmacy, and this is like just before she retired, I think. And she's like, "Well, it's in Brooklyn, the post office in Brooklyn." And so I called the post office in Brooklyn. I was like, "Could you please look around for this packet with this number?" It's saying no, that ain't here. Said, "I know it's there. My relative is looking in your internal system. She works for the post office and say that your internal tracking is there." He goes, "They're not supposed to tell anyone that." I'm like, I said, "My relative has done a combined total of 1,000 years working for the post office. We earned the credit, So please look." And he put it back in the mail. He found it and put it back in the mail, because it was like and then there was a time like 5 or 6 years ago where another post office in Brooklyn. For some reason, my stuff gets lost in Brooklyn. I ordered underwear, and it sat at a post office in Brooklyn for 4.5 months. 4.5 months. A friend of mine had the same thing happen with a post office in New England, in either New Hampshire or Vermont, one of those two states. And he's from New Jersey. His product was in there for months before the post office said they had to send someone there to look for it, and they shipped it out to him. So that was my end of the show rant.
Crazy post office.
Yeah. I always pay extra now if I can avoid, because there are certain services like DHL or one other one that won't ever go to the post office, so I pay the extra $5 for them if it's an option now.
Yeah. Just don't order. I don't know if you can still do this, but you used to be able to order chicks in the mail.
Yeah, you can still get
baby chickens. Yeah. 4 months later. Oh, I'm sorry. Your mummified chickens are here.
Yeah. In fact, I watch a lot of homesteading channels, and 2 of them just got their baby chicks in the mail this month. I'm watching them get to pick them up.
Okay. Cool.
So that's our show for this week, Friday Fandemonium. Did not think I was going to go almost 2 hours again, but I guess Jacob's good company.
Yeah.
So stay safe. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully next time I talk to you guys on this show, my leg will hurt 10 times less. And that's the week, that's the show, and we are out of here.
Bye, y'all.